If we could gather everyone who says that they follow Christ into one place, I'm sure that we would find millions of examples of wonderful reflections of Christ's love and his life. But if we're really honest, we'd also see a lot of things that serve more to defame him than to glorify him. Should we be concerned about the number of people who won't come to church because they encountered a nominal Christian before they had the opportunity to encounter Christ? Yeah, I think we should. Is it important for a Christian to feel some accountability for the reputation of Christ and have some means of measuring their own spiritual growth? We think so. We began to wonder how someone with nothing to go by could find a healthy church with an effective ministry that really would help them understand who Christ is and how they can learn to become more like him. And that got us to wondering, how can someone with nothing to go by know if a church is healthy or not? How can we tell if a ministry is effective? In our documentary, 40 Churches in 40 Weeks, we plan to visit 40 churches along Interstate 40, looking for examples of those things that really are working to accomplish the purposes and the goals that Christ gave his church more than 2,000 years ago. We're going below the surface and beyond Sunday morning to look for people who are not only committed to their church, but committed to living a life that leads them to genuinely grow and become more and more like Christ with every passing year. We'll be talking to pastors, staff members, church members, and even people who don't believe to find out what it takes to be a healthy church, and maybe more importantly, to understand the signs of when a church is not healthy. We want to help people learn how they can evaluate their own spiritual growth and ask themselves if the church that they are in is inspiring to grow and become more like Jesus. All the buildings, programming, and planning in the world are all for nothing if it isn't leading followers to become more like Jesus and to positively represent him to an unbelieving world. Well, how do we do that? Well, what do you think? We believe that comparing and contrasting churches across the country, we're going to be able to discover some of the valuable insights and, by God's grace, maybe some answers. I'm Sharon Bollum, and I invite you to join us and be part of the conversation by clicking on the link below. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and share your insights and your concerns about the church in our modern day culture. And if you live or attend a church near Interstate 40, be sure to let us know. We'd love to include you in our research.